Hey guys, welcome back to the channel Master in English with Monica Jetli. I am back again, your favorite teacher, Monica Jetli ma'am. Please do like, comment, share and subscribe. Those who have not yet subscribed my channel. Today I am going to tell you something about verb, its forms and kinds. Verb. Now you might be thinking just 4-letter words and it's very easy to understand. But my dear children, it's not so easy. The entire grammar, if you understand verb, you will understand the entire grammar. Because there are many forms of verbs, finite forms of verb, non-finite forms of verb, modals, auxiliaries, and once you know about all the forms, then it becomes easier for you to transform it. You can transform active voice into passive voice and you can do some other transformations also. So it is a very important topic. You must not miss it. Please watch till the end and please learn something from it so that you may frame correct sentences. Verb, tense, non-finite form of verb, these form a very important part. Now verb, it is derived from the Latin word verbum. From where it has been derived? It has been derived from the Latin word verbum, which means verb. Now, verb, as you all know, doing words or action words are called verb. But this is not the complete definition. Verb states the action. It tells about the action. It denotes the state. And it tells about the being also. Now action, it will, let us see the example of action. So if I say, let us take the example of write. I will be dealing with all the forms of write. If I say, I am writing. So this is the action word. I am writing. State, I write. I can write. I sleep. I can sleep. I am sleeping. This is telling about the state, condition. In what condition I am. Right now, in what condition I am. I sleep. I write. Being. Now, being, what am I? I am a girl. I am a boy. All this. So, we see that it tells about the action, state and being. Now, the next thing is, I told you that I will be telling about all the forms of writing. If we see how many that I will be telling you later on, all the forms of writing I will be telling you later on. First, let me tell you about the transitive verb and intransitive verb. Now, there are two kinds of verb. Transitive and intransitive. Now, transitive. What does transitive mean? Transitive means passing over. In physics also or in maths also, you must have learnt about transitory motion and then transitive, it transits something when it transits from one place to another. So that is passing over. Transitory motion also passing over. Here also transitive means passing over. So in transitive action, suppose I am the doer of the action. So Monica kicks football. So here Monica is the doer of the action and the receiver of the action is football. So the action passes over from the subject to the object. Monica kicks what? Monica kicks football. So football is the object over there. So we see that transitive verbs have got object in them. But if I say she swims, Rita swims, in this there is no object. Object, now how to identify the object? If we are answer to whom, for whom. That means there is an object. I gave a gift to my friend on her birthday. So here this is direct object. So object can be direct also and indirect also. When we are getting an answer to whom, that will be the direct object. When we are getting an answer for whom, that will be the indirect object. Now we come to intransitive verb. Intransitive verb does not contain any object first of all. Like if I say the baby sleeps. Here there is no passing over of action. Action is there. Sleeping is there. Sleeping is an action. But there is no passing over of action. If I say the baby is sleeping, so that means it is intransitive verb. And if I say the baby is kicking the football, that will be transitive verb. I hope you have understood the difference between transitive and intransitive verb. Now, if we see all the forms of write, I can say I write, I am writing, I have written, I had written, I was writing. I am not writing the subject, I am just writing the forms now. You can understand that everywhere there is I. I was writing, I will write, I shall write, I shall be writing, I will be writing, in some cases we can begin with writing also. Writing is a good exercise. Somewhere you can see to write, I have to write, I have to complete my work, I have to do the homework. Sometimes you can see written, it's a written work. Sometimes you can see had written. Sometimes you can see should write. Sometimes you can see need to write. So these are several forms of write. Now what is the difference among all? We can see that some are denoting the present tense. If I say I write, that means this is showing my habit that I write. I love to write. If I say I am writing, this is telling that I am writing just now. If I say I have written, this shows that just now only I have completed my work. Just now only I have written the poem, or I have written an essay, or I have written this work. I had written, it is telling that I had written it in the past. And then I wrote, if I say I wrote also denotes that the work is done in the past. Had written is also denoting that the work is done in the past. But how can you differentiate between wrote and had written? See, this is the perfect, past perfect, and this is the simple past. I wrote the work means I wrote it. Sometimes in the past But if I say I had written the verb, that means one other verb has to go side by side in the past. So I had written the verb when you came. I had completed the verb when you entered. Then was writing, I was writing it in the past. I will write, this is also telling that in future I will write. Shall write, now what is the difference between will and shall? Shall shows some doubt is there, but will shows surety. If I say I will write, that means I will definitely write. By hook or by crook, at any cost, I will write, I will complete it. Shall write, I shall write. In future I shall write, but it's not sure whether I will write it or not. Shall be writing, this is future perception. In future I shall be writing, when you enter, when you come, I shall be writing it. Will be writing, this is surety that I will be writing it. Then if I say writing, so writing is a good exercise. I can say, if I say to write, I have to write, I have to complete this work. Now written, it's a written work. Now you can see the difference. Written work, here all the work is limited by time and action. But here, time is not required. All these are telling about the time. I write, I will write, I wrote, all these are telling about write. I shall write, I shall be writing, I shall have written, I shall have been writing. All these things are telling about time. That in this time I will be doing it, at this time I had done, at that time I will be doing. But here, if I say writing is a good exercise, here it is not doing the work of, it is not related with time at all. It is rather showing noun. Writing here is used as a noun. And to write, I have to do this work. This is also not doing the work. It is also not limited by time and action. It is also not doing the work related to time. When to write, what to write, it's not telling that. Written, it is also showing the condition that it's a written work. Which type of work it is? Written work. So, written is doing the work of adjective. Writing is doing the work of noun. Had written, should write. Now, had written, this is also showing time, that in the past I had written it. But if I say should write, so this is showing some moral obligation. That I don't love to write, but I should write. That should be there. So, moral obligation is there. Need to write, this is also moral obligation is there. Now, there are some more forms like I can write, I may write, or I might write, I could write. So, all these words are also there. So, with this we see that there are some words which are limited by time and action. They are called as finite verbs. What are they called? Finite verbs. They are called as finite because time is definite in that. We are sure of the time. So that is why it is called finite verb. Then there are non-finite verbs also, which are not limited by time and action. Then there are auxiliaries, which are helping. Auxiliaries are helping verbs. Auxiliaries can be divided into primary auxiliaries and model auxiliaries. So now we come to finite verbs. When it is limited by time and action, when time and action is told, when the action was done, when will it be done, when it will be done. So all these things are limited by time and action. So these are finite verbs. All tense forms, all the forms of the tense tell about the finite verbs. Tense I will be dealing with it later on. And then comes the non-finite forms of the verb. In the non-finite forms of the verb, there are three: infinitive, gerund, and participle. So this finite verbs I will be telling you later on. These are all tense. About the tense I will be telling you later on. All the forms of tenses. Basically I will be telling you about infinitive, gerund and participle. What is the difference between finite and non-finite? Tense, there are 12 forms of tenses that I will be telling you later on. Present tense, past tense, future tense. All these three tenses have got 4 forms each. So I will be dealing with it in detail in my next class. Non-finite verbs. Infinitive is to plus verb. If any verb is doing the work of a noun, like in that example I told you, writing is a good exercise. So writing is used as a noun over there. So that is doing the work of gerund, non-finite verb, and it is the gerund. So gerunds are the forms of the verb which are used as noun. So if I say swimming is a good exercise, writing is a good exercise, we must practice writing. So these all are doing the work of writing. Here is doing the work of noun. So it is gerund. So these are noun forms. Next is participle. Now what are participles? Participles, here gerund is ing form. Participle can also be ing form of the verb. Like if I say, participles can be past or present. Past participle, present participle. They do the work of adjective. Like in the example I told you, it's a written verb. Which type of verb? Written verb. So written is here past participle. Written. But if I say, when anything is used as an adjective, like a moving toy, a moving toy. So here also ing form, but there is a difference. In gerund also ing form is there, but it is used as a noun. In participle also ing form is there, but it is used as an adjective. So you should know the 3 forms of non-finite verbs: infinitive, participle, gerund. Gerund is the non-finite form of the verb which is doing the work of noun. Participle, it is doing the work of adjective. In adjective also there are 2, present and past. If the third form is used, if the participle form was used, third form of the verb is used, and it is doing the work of adjective. Like a broken toy, a moving toy. A dancing girl, the broken toy. So all these are used as adjectives, although they are verbs. So they are participle form, and infinitive is to plus verb. I have to write, I have to go. So these non-finite verbs are also clear to you, I think. Now next is auxiliaries. Auxiliaries are primary auxiliaries and modal auxiliaries. If I say, if in those sentences we had seen was writing, will write, has written, have written, we've seen all these things. So these all are helping the main verb. So they are called auxiliaries because it is helping. They are called as helping verb. They are there to tell us whether, if we cannot simply say I write every time I dance, I write, I work, I play. We cannot simply say like that. We need to have some helping verb to show when the action has been done. So in that case, primary auxiliaries are there to help. So to be forms are is, was, were, etc. There are many. So already I have discussed about all the forms. So these are primary auxiliaries. Now next is modal auxiliaries. In modal auxiliaries, there can be can, could, shall, should, might, may, ought to, need to, can, could, shall, should, might, may, ought to, need to, will, would, etc. Now what is the difference between these? When I am saying any sentence with can, like I can write, we cannot say I can wrote, I can writes, I can writing. Here with primary auxiliaries, we can change the form of the main verb. But with modals, we cannot change the form of the main verbs. These are basically used for moral obligation, for permission, may I come in, it might rain, possibility, ability, I can do this work, I can play, could, past ability, and for permission also. Could you please come along with me? So for permission, for moral obligation, for possibility, etc. these modals are used. I hope you have understood about all this. So this is the entire thing about verb. Now in my next class I will be dealing with direct, indirect, tense, active and passive voice, because they all are telling about the different forms of verb. Once you know about verb, it becomes easier for you all to understand what is active and passive voice and how to convert active to passive and passive to active, vice versa. And you will be able to transform it into from direct to indirect also. So let me talk something more about transitive and intransitive verb. See, some words can be used transitively or intransitively, like the horse walks. This is intransitive verb. But if we want to use it as transitive verb, I can say the rider walked the horse. The rider walked the horse. So we can see that this horse has become object. This is intransitive, but this same verb has become transitive verb. So similarly, transitive can also be used intransitively. Intransitive can also be used transitively depending upon the situation. I hope you have understood the entire verb. Thank you, children. It was wonderful. Thank you for listening so patiently. Keep watching, keep liking, keep commenting. Thank you so much.